been doing this for a long time, you do not want to be putting sugar in your body. Also famed potassium. It's in chewing gum and gelatins, and Jello. And God forbid, don't be consuming the Jello with marshmallows and whipping cream. That's like the torpedo of death. Napalm, they should call that. Napalm. Let's kill them. Food colorings. Now, there's lots of different food colorings, but I think, just be aware, you don't want any food colorings. Blue, red, yellow, green. They can cause bladder cancer. See, a lot of times, sausages have colors in them. Hot dogs, deli meats. We encourage Applegate deli meat. You don't want anything that has anything added to it. Nothing added. You want nothing added. Olestra. Now, olestra is not that common, but olestra will cause, I'm not saying this to be funny, it'll cause a little chocolate chip in your underpants. Purge from you. Okay? Don't want anything with olestra, because it irritates your colon. Olestra. Okay? Potassium bromate. It increases the volume of white flour, breads, and rolls. Now, you know, if you've listened to me before talk about bromines in white bread, and that today, if you watch my iodine article on the internet, for all of you listening to me right now, iodine competes with bromine, fluorine, and chlorine. Bromine is in bread. Bromine is also in certain beverages like Mountain Dew and Gatorade. You want to be aware of bromine. It's antagonistic to iodine. White sugar and salt. Just watch out for anything added sugar. You want to minimize sugar as much as you can. And sodium chloride, table salt, it can cause high blood pressure for some people. It can cause heart attacks and strokes. Okay? So let me tie all this together for you. Why are food additives bad? Food additives are bad because they trick the body. Did you pick that up today? They trick the body. We have enough that we have to deal with in America today. We don't need to be tricked. Our bodies don't need to be tricked by anybody. Now, I want you just to be aware of a few other things that aren't in the notes. When you see texturized protein, they hide a lot of things by that term, texturized protein. A lot of times they'll throw soy in there. Texturized protein. I want you to start avoiding genetically modified foods, GMO. Because what's happening, for an example, I was just reading an awesome book, that they have genetically modified tomatoes today. They've taken pectin out of the skin, so tomatoes don't rot. They don't rot. You want to have food that breaks down inside your body. Well, that can cause digestive distress. So according to the U.S. rules, USDA certified organic is supposed to be no genetically modified. I don't know if they're ever going to start making it where they irradiate foods, because they irradiate foods today too. I don't know if they're going to have to start labeling that. The safest thing for you all to do is start growing some of your own food. Work very hard to get organically sourced food from local growers. Okay? I would eat out the least that I could, and I'm not telling you never eat out. If you're going to go to a fast food restaurant and get a salad, more than likely that salad, those greens have been sprayed. Because see, everything is designed to keep stuff and items on the shelf a long time. If you buy a product and the sell date is not for 3 years from now, your body doesn't want that. And I'll close with this. You want to put living food in your body. Your body is an alive organism. Anytime you put something dead in your body has to process it. And this organ right here, the liver does everything to increase the electricity in food to make it compatible and work in your body. So there's a lot of great tasting food out there. Just go for as much organic as you possibly can. Eat it, but Richard. So what I want you to understand, you don't need to get these dyes. And here's how you avoid it. You really want to focus on organic food. Now during the summertime is the very best time to eat. Now I would encourage you to do this. We just did this ourselves. If blueberry season is still going on, you buy a bunch of blueberries, you put them on a cookie sheet, and you freeze them so they're all separate, and then you put them in a bag. So when fruits and vegetable season, especially vegetable seasons, it's really easy to freeze items. You get hot water, boiling hot water, you put whatever you want in there for a minute or so to blanch them, and freeze it. You know, you can freeze it however you want to freeze it, but freeze it. Okay, the blue bits in Aunt Jemima blueberry waffles are blue thanks to red 40 and blue 2, not real blueberries. Artificial dyes are particularly prevalent in the sugary cereals, candies, sodas, snack foods pitched to kids. For instance, Ginger or General Mills fruit roll-ups and fruit by the food flavored snacks get their fruity colors from, look, yellow dye 5, Cheerios, Lucky Charms. You know, what's so lucky about Lucky Charms? It always makes me just want to barf. And Trix also contains several of the problematic dyes, as do Kellogg's Fruit Loops, Apple Jacks, and Post Fruity Pebbles. So what am I saying? If you're going to give a child any kind of breakfast cereal, you want to make the cereal. You want to get real oatmeal. You don't want any colors. Now, the seriousness of this, once again, is the fact. If you're giving this to your children, you're sending them to school, and they have hyperactivity, etc., they will put them on drugs. I am telling you, they will put them on drugs. So, a lot of times, these kids become addicted. Wait till we get to a few more sentences, you'll see why. More than a dozen American varieties of Kraft, Oscar Mayer, Lunchable kids meals, which probably is like right from the pit of you-know-where, it's like rat food, Lunchable meals contain artificial dyes, but look, not so the British version. You see what I'm saying? Because they won't allow it in the UK. Do you know the European Union won't allow most of the food from the United States into Europe? So when we go over to Europe, you see everybody's so thin we can't figure out why. Do you know that if you don't eat organic, you can lose 5% of your body fat just by switching to organic? Just by switching. Because you're not going to be holding on to all the toxins. Starbucks chews, if you notice I highlighted Skittles, and the M&M candies, all Mars product, contain the full spectrum of artificial colors in the U.S., but not in the UK, where the company uses natural colorings. That aren't particularly brightly colored contain dyes, including several varieties of macaroni and cheese and mashed potatoes. Now, I can't imagine that people actually will go out and buy mashed potatoes in a box or flakes. And I think you might add hot water to them. I'm not sure. Okay? And the macaroni and cheese, if you're going to have macaroni and cheese, I just sent out a tip about this last week. DeBoles, like D-E-B-O-L-E-S, makes a wonderful rice pasta. DeBoles, D-E-B-O-L-E-S, makes a great penne rice pasta. If you came to our house and had macaroni salad, you wouldn't even know that it wasn't the rice pastas. Betty Crocker's au gratin 100% real potatoes are partly not real colored as they are, partly not real. They're colored as they are with yellow dye 5 and yellow 6. Both derived from coal tar. And that is why, I want to point that out to you, they can say natural product. Because coal is carbon, and carbon is natural. And I am telling you the honest to goodness truth. Both derived from coal tar. Remarkably, in Britain, the colored McDonald's strawberry sauce for Sundays actually comes from strawberries. In the U.S., it comes from red dye 40. And we wonder, I just read in the USA Today just the other day that they are finally making the decision that we need to start focusing on getting healthy instead of trying to figure out who's going to be paying the deductibles. So we have it all wrong. I mean, I am telling you, we spend oodles and oodles of money on treating conditions that could be prevented. The science shows that kids' behavior improves when these artificial colors are removed from the diets and worsens when they are added to their diets, says Dr. David Schaub, a psychiatrist at Columbia University Medical Center, who conducted the 2004 meta-analysis with his colleague. While not all children seem to be sensitive to these chemicals, it's hard to justify their continued use in foods, especially those foods heavily marketed to young children. So here's the nugget I need you to get. If you turn that, you don't have to turn it over right now, but if you look at that chart that I showed you with the inhibiting, the food additives inhibit and stop normal fat metabolism in the body. That is important for you to understand that. If you can just get that, you can see how your own health would improve within a year. It might take 2 years getting off of this, but it will change. Okay, secretive chemicals behind hidden food under artificial flavors label. Now, it was by the grace of God that I found this article. I think that, Bobby, you may be sent or part of me getting this article with this company. A relatively young company called Cenomix may be responsible for the sodium and sugar levels falling in your favorite grocery store item. Here, wait till we read this. How are they doing this without affecting the taste? The truth is that they may be putting chemicals in your food right now without you even realizing it and without telling you. And guess what? They don't have to tell you. You want to know why? Because it's under the legal amount. So like if they have so many parts per million and the government says it has to be this amount,